Hello. Yeah. Great setup I have here. I was so prepared for streaming this. As in, I was at work not 10 minutes ago. Meanwhile, I put on some music while we wait. If I have time, since it's probably on like any second. And hello, hello. And scratch that. Oh, never mind. Don't scratch that. Also, there we go. You guys can have some audio as well. Sure wish I had prepared for this more than like 10 seconds prior. But hey, here we are. And by more than 10 minutes prior, I mean like more like 3 minutes prior.
Hi, I'm Clemens and welcome to the reveal of Hitman 3 Year 2. Here at IO Interactive, we've been building exciting new content for Hitman 3, and I'm super excited to share more details of what you can expect from another full year of support. First things first, Hitman 3 Year 2 will start on the 20th of January 2022. And today, I'm very excited to reveal some new details about what we've been working on. We've lined up some new reveals and details of 2 upcoming game modes and insights from our developers. So, let's jump straight into the reveal of something completely new. This is Elusive Target Arcade.
We are always thinking of new ways to challenge our players and give them fresh experiences within the world of assassination. Elusive Targets have always been about recreating an experience that is both tense and impactful. You get one chance to take down your target, there are no second chances, and failure is permanent. The Elusive Target Arcade is our way to take this concept to the next level. The formula has been the same for a while now, and we are ready to mix things up. But without sacrificing what made the Elusive Target so exciting in the first place. In this new mode, you'll take on the ultimate Elusive Target challenge and earn rewards as you go. This isn't just about taking down one target anymore. The Elusive Target Arcade tasks you with taking down several targets, one after the other, without failing and with new objectives and complications thrown into the mix. If you can complete the trial, you'll earn exclusive rewards that can be used in the rest of the game. And crucially, these trials will be permanent. Once they are added to the game, they'll be available and waiting for you whenever you are ready to play them. But if you fail a trial, you'll have to wait for the next day to give it another go. Through Year 2, we'll be updating the Elusive Target Arcade with more trials for you to take on and enjoy. We cannot wait to have you play the Elusive Target Arcade and let us know what you think.
Elusive Target Arcade.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good.
For all Hitman 3 owners starting on January 20. We've been talking about changing the Elusive Target formula for a little while now, and we're excited to share the first details of how you can enjoy Elusive Targets in a new way. Now for something else that's coming to the game on January 20. And this is specific for PC players.
We are super happy that we can finally release the whole Hitman trilogy game and release it to the PC VR community.
The gameplay is perhaps even more exciting, and with the PC version you have now 2 hands, 2 controllers.
Conveniently, I set up my VR setup yesterday.
Started working on it. I think one of the first things that we knew that we wanted to
What a
get in,
coincidence.
was to have some more physicality in some of the movements, and throwing being one of the big parts in the whole trilogy. Even in the flat game, we really wanted to nail that. So we added the same base system where you aim. Right now you aim with your left hand, so you target with your left hand, and then you fling and release with your right. And it sort of just worked out of the box. At least, I mean, I think we have some footage of Klaus trying it for the very first time.
And it just instantly clicked.
Yeah, it just worked.
Yeah.
And then it started having we found out it had some extra stuff that suddenly you could fling from, like an underhand throw,
Side.
of a side throw. So you started being all ninja-like, if you wanted to do, or like a juggler almost, right? And
we have a lot of different items in the game, like shurikens. Like you can really roleplay this like Ninja Fantasy, for instance, if that's your jam.
Yeah, we also put in, stuff like the left hand attaching to the right when you're holding a weapon. What else? But the close combat with both hands now feels extremely satisfying, because you naturally go into this, I don't know, boxer stance or karate, that's your vibe, right? So this level of freedom.
Running through levels, slapping everybody on the way, like turning around, throwing something, then picking up a gun, shooting. Like it turns into kind of a ballet sometimes almost, and you can really express your inner, like what kind of version of 47 you are today.
Yeah, and I would say that especially in combat, these more action-packed areas have really gotten a notch up, simply because you're not controlling an animation or a character anymore. It's you doing the movements, and that really makes you feel when you do it right, it makes you feel extremely badass, which is super.
Oh, extremely elegant.
Cool. Elegant as well. Yes. And sometimes you feel like an idiot. But that's what you do in Hitman, right? Yeah.
Yes. So we're super excited for everybody to be able to play it. It's happening right around the corner, and we can't wait to hear everybody's feedback and reactions, and see what people figure out, what crazy ways they're gonna play the game. And PC VR is.
And yeah, it is the whole trilogy.
Very much.
Everything is playable in Hitman 3 anyway.
I don't know. Have fun with it, really.
PC VR is looking amazing, and PC players can look forward to experience the world of assassination in a whole new way in year 2. There's more to come for PC players a little later on, and we still have a new reveal of another game mode to come as well, so stay tuned for that. Now, let's check in with some more developers at IOI who will share fresh details on some of the technical improvements that are coming to the game during year 2.
We're constantly working on our Glacier technology. It's powering our existing games and all our future games as well. And we want to use the year 2 of Hitman 3 as a chance to bring some of these improvements to our players early on.
Some of those improvements, ray tracing.
Ooh, I can't use it.
Reflections, we're going to have better shadows. You know, Hitman looks amazingly already, but imagine that with ray tracing. It's really, really good. And we are excited to bring it to you, like metals, waters. It's awesome. It's really looking very nice.
Well, I'm curious about how that will look, because I really dislike the lighting in the game as it is.
So many cool advancements.
Case in point.
Hitman 2 and Hitman 3 for PC gamers. This year, we're going up another notch and implementing, as one of the first studios, XeSS technology from Intel, which is going to be in the game soon.
One more, variable rate shading. Is a technique that is for graphic cards. What it makes is, depending on the load of the graphic cards, renders the frame one way or the other. This means better performance, better looking game and more fun.
I'm sure you guys are gonna love it.
That was more great news for Hitman 3 Year 2. Now, I want to share a few announcements about how we'll be welcoming new players and supporting new platforms this year. Firstly, we're happy to share with our PC players that Hitman 3 will arrive on Steam at the start of Year 2, with full support of VR and all the technical improvements that you've just seen. If you're completely new to the world of assassination, we're making it easier than ever to get started and play the full campaign in one single package. The Hitman trilogy includes Hitman 1, Hitman 2, and Hitman 3, giving you everything you need to jump straight into the world of assassination. And when Year 2 launches on January 20, the Hitman trilogy will be available through the Xbox Game Pass catalog for both console and PC. All of our new and existing players have a lot to look forward to. And now, we're excited to share the first details of a major new game mode that is coming to Hitman 3 in just a few months' time. This is Freelancer.
In Freelancer, you have a safe house. You don't get everything served for you as you do in the main missions usually. Everything is ready and you just show up in Paris or wherever. But here you actually have to do a little bit of this planning beforehand. And it does give a lot of... the role-playing part of it is really strong because you kind of feel like you are Hitman, basically. You can also visit all your different parts of the safe house. These are customizable, so you can, over time, kind of configure how you think your Hitman should live.
As 47, you are taking on some cool freelance contracts. You have to find some criminal enterprises that are destroying the world slowly, and you have to choose which one you really hate and go against them. So really a campaign is a set of missions that spans across the world of assassination. So as a player, you should imagine going on a longer kind of campaign where you go to different missions and you choose the order you want to approach them in. So there's a lot of strategical considerations as well.
So this gives a very varied experience whenever you play new campaigns.
Yes, it combines the territories and the locations in new ways.
When you're on a campaign, you are going up against various types of crime, basically. First off, you have to try and corner the leader. You do that by going to different locations where you take down some of the more ordinary members. And these are sort of bread and butter missions, but it all leads towards you cornering the leader. And the last territory will basically be where the leader is. So
Sounds a lot like Li Hong Assassination.
Choice there that you can sort of pick where you want to face the leader. When you get to the final mission, you don't know exactly who the leader is. You have some intel that will help you, but you still have to unravel who the actual leader is. So this is this feels very random when you play over and over again, that you can't really learn the missions. You have to think every time. On these final missions, the leaders will also have additional help from their organization. There's some NPCs that are hidden but are very deadly, so you have to look out for those. There's also other NPCs that will basically spook the leader and alert the leader, so he or she will escape. So there's an added layer of difficulty.
Actually escape or just go to a hiding place.
Skill and wits and creativity. Freelancer is very inspired by roguelike games. So we are adding way more consequence to what happens when you're on a mission than we normally do in the normal Hitman games and other game modes.
During the missions, there will be suppliers that you can purchase gear from. So that's a new thing, and this is the way you actually build your arsenal in Freelancer. This gear is not persistent, so it means that if you bring it on a mission and actually die or drop it, then it's gone. So then you have to purchase it again, basically. Mm-hmm. So there's another layer of tension here that you can't just get a lot of stuff for free. You actually have to build your arsenal and maintain it. Consumables will of course be gone when you use them, so you have to stock up on that. There's no backup plan. It's the sweaty palms we're going for.
When you are in your safe house, then you have all the time in the world to plan, and you can figure out what to do. But when you have taken that plane and you are on location, then you better make it count.
Freelancer is looking incredible and is currently in the final stages of development. It's currently scheduled for release in spring
Sounds interesting, at least.
2022, and we can't wait. We're nearing the end of the show, so let's recap. Today we introduce Elusive Target Arcade, a game mode that takes elusive targets to a new level. We're bringing Hitman VR to PC, and Hitman 3 will be arriving on Steam. Ray tracing is coming to PC, and the entire World of Assassination trilogy will be included in Xbox Game Pass 2. Finally, we shared the first details on Freelancer, an exciting new mode that will change the way you play and bring back Agent 47's safe house. I can't wait. All of that will be part of Hitman 3 Year 2 in the coming months. There's just one more thing I want to share before the end of the show. We have promised that there's more to come later this year, so here's the first look at something we're working on for later in Year 2. Agent 47 just doesn't stop traveling.
Okay. Seemed... I mean, that was better than I expected, honestly. I don't know why you would complain about it being only 5 minutes or something, because I would much rather have them actually announce the stuff they have to announce than do like a hour-long IOI Insider stream in which they have like 2 minutes of content. I'd much rather have something like this, and they actually had some interesting stuff in there. Just refreshing their news sites, hoping to see the actual article on whatever they just talked about. They are not uploading it yet. Because I'm sure they have a blog post as well. But yeah, the Elusive Target Arcade was somewhat what I had expected. As in, somewhat time limited, or not time limited but restricted, as in you can't just replay it infinitely, but rather if you fail you have to wait a bit, which I think is a fair way to do it. What I didn't expect from that is that they are chaining them together like they are, which seems cool, because I always said that I don't think Elusive Targets can be infinitely replayable simply because they are very, very simple compared to basically all other major content in the game. And if they chain them together like that, then that adds a bit of depth, I think. So that's good. That's the best part. No, it isn't. It's really not anything new. That's why I'm not too excited about Elusive Targets Arcade. Like, it's a better way to do Elusive Targets, absolutely, but still, I'm not too into Elusive Targets anyway. Because like I said, I don't think they have that much depth. The fact that they're chained together like they are is the more interesting bit. And most of the stuff was basically already not known, but expected. Like VR on PC, which I will probably play VR. Well, I don't know if I'll do it first thing when the game gets updated. But I do have a VR setup ready, so I'll definitely give that a go. And yeah, the Game Pass stuff. Sure. Doesn't really impact, well, anybody who has the game. Another jungle. Yeah, I was thinking of the same thing. It's like when they started showing the pictures of that rainy jungle, I was like, is this Santa Fortuna? No. Is this Haven Island? No. It's just going through my all the jungle maps. Like, another one. It took a good few shots until I accepted that, okay, this is a new map and not just an old one with rain. Man, I'm... Not my favorite setup for a mission after these games. But I'll take a new map. I hope it's actually different and original. Like I've been working on a tier list video for all the existing maps, in which I go into some detail about my thoughts on all of the maps. And I was making notes for Haven Island, and man, I do not like that map. I can give you a spoiler and say that Haven is gonna end up in bottom tier. It doesn't deserve that to be that low, but it's gonna be that low. And what else did they announce? Oh yeah, the freelancer. That sounds interesting, actually. I think it has more potential than basically any other game mode they have had up until now. But that is only on paper. I will wait and see, actually try it, until I form an opinion. But it sounds more interesting than elusive targets or escalations or the multiplayer modes. Yeah, I guess the most interesting thing for me is trying out the VR. Yeah, I also definitely hope the map isn't massive. That's been a downside. Although I also expect the new map to be pretty fucking huge, simply because there hasn't been any new maps for Hitman 3. And it's been a long time since it's been over a year since we had a new map. No, not over a year, but just about a year, and it will be well over a year when that comes out. And unfortunately, people's expectations are that Hitman maps are huge. So if they, over a year after the previous maps, release a new one and it's small, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. So I'm expecting it to be large, and I'm expecting that, unfortunately. I would much rather have a map that is much, much smaller. Or a couple of maps that are much, much smaller, ideally. Smaller and perhaps more original. Am I going to add to the newest series or the old series as well? If you're talking about the tier list, then it's only gonna be the modern Hitman. It's already getting out of hand. I tried to record it, like make some rough notes and just record it, and it wasn't going well, so I just started writing a proper script, and it's getting long. getting long. I'm not actually sure what is the biggest map currently. I know that in Hitman 1 it was Paris. Shockingly, Paris is the biggest map. I think Hitman 2, technically, they always said that, oh, Hawke's Bay isn't small. It's the biggest map, actually. Yeah, sure. Guess that depends on how you measure it. But if anything, I hope that since they are showing that they're doing a new map and they're showing all the stuff that they're doing with Freelancer, and it's gonna be in the old maps as well, from what I gathered. I hope they start doing something new with the old maps, because there is so much room for interesting stuff in those that hasn't been used at all over the last 5 years. Just bonus missions on those maps. Something similar to Patient Zero. That's what I want. And now if they're starting to sell the game as like a full trilogy at this point, there's no excuse that, oh, we can't really add stuff for Hitman 1 maps because people might not own Hitman 1 and Hitman 3 and... No, just make some good content. There's plenty of room in those maps, and I hope it gets used. No, I don't know if I would want remakes of old maps. On one hand, I don't want that because I think it's a waste, because the old maps are just fine, and if they were to remake something, I know they would remake stuff that is already popular, and... Okay, popular doesn't immediately mean good. Case in point, House of Cards. But I would rather, if they were to remake maps, put it this way, I would want them to remake maps that were shit. Give me that Hidden Valley remake. There's no point in remaking A New Life or Traditions of the Trade. Those maps are already good. Why would I want another version of a map that's already good? Give me a good version of a map that used to be bad. That's what I want. That would be a much better remake. That said, the old games and the new games are mechanically so very different that a straight up remake would still end up being quite different, so whatever. Yeah, Mumbai was my guess for the biggest map for Hitman 2 as well. And potentially the entire trilogy. I'm not sure where something like Berlin ranks. Because Berlin is also quite large, yeah. Especially even you include that there's the whole gas station, which is of no use in the main mission, outside of like setting the scene. Yeah, they said that they will add extra something. I was hoping to get the actual blog post up, but it's still not up. See, like, what did they actually say about the new missions or whatever it was that comes with Freelancer? Because it could just be, like, effectively an elusive target. Which would be disappointing. Which is also kind of what I'm expecting, considering they were talking about how it's kind of like a roguelike. But yeah, it's hard to say what that's gonna be like. I'll keep my expectations fairly low. It sounds like it could be extremely ambitious, but at the same time, realistically, I don't think it's gonna be as massive as they are hyping it up to be. And Mushroom, thank you for the resub. Oh, did they update the old blog post? Oh, look at that. Nice. What do we got? Brand new game mode that takes illustrated concept to the next level, mixes up the formula and introduces new challenges and unlockable rewards, all whilst keeping the essence of what makes illustrated targets exciting and interesting to play. There are several significant changes to the mode here. Each arcade contract now tasks you taking down consecutive elusive targets, one contract after the other. Each one must be completed to proceed to the next, and there are additional complications added to the contract as well. Okay, that's good. That's good. That might add some much needed depth to elusive targets. And are these all actually Hitman 3 elusive targets that they are showing here? I don't know who this is, but the rest of these seem to be Hitman 3 ones. Okay, that's Hitman 2, so good. And expected. Would be great if they just decided to cut out the elusive targets. Yeah, just Hitman 3 ones. If you fail an arcade contract at any point, there will be a 12-hour lockout before you can retry the contract again from the start. This lockout enables us to keep high-stakes gameplay that is hallmark of loose targets, whilst also giving players a clear indication of when they are able to play a particular elusive target again. And this raises the question, can we play this offline? I think my computer can handle calculating 12 hours. Don't think I need their servers to do that. And crucially, arcade contracts... It's missing a space, isn't it? No, it isn't. Crucially, arcade contracts are permanent additions to Hitman 3. Once we add one to the game, they won't go away. Oh yeah, I guess they also said something about adding more of these over time. Is good. Which also probably means that they're gonna be like escalations, meaning they won't be online, or won't be offline. Yeah. I guess that's the big disappointment of this announcement. No, not a word was mentioned about offline mode. Our aims with this game mode are to give players the chance to engage and play elusive target contents more frequently, provide a new challenge for long-time players in elusive targets game mode, create a new type of recurring content that will reward players with desirable unlocks. Wonder what the unlocks are gonna be. I'm thinking like the contracts mode, unlockable items, and how much you have to grind all that boring stuff to get anything. Always amuses me when there's a new patch notes and they announce like, you can now unlock a reskinned hammer if you complete 70 featured contracts. Like, no thanks. I'm assuming this is hopefully gonna be better. Even if it's gonna be reskinned, I hope it's gonna be not a stupid grind. Should be easy enough to accomplish that. is Dark Reaper. I'm supposed to be the pessimistic one. When Hitman 3 Year 2 begins on January 20th, the arcade will also be open with a total of 3 arcade contracts, each one with elusive targets from the specific game in World of Assassins Trilogy. Okay, so these are not the ones we get next time or at the beginning. Also, the names. These are not gonna be memorable names, are they? I'm gonna forget each one. It's just like escalations. Like, there are like 50 of them or something. I can remember the names of maybe 3. And one of them is named after me. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, sure. I feel like this is likely going to end up somewhat replacing escalations or elusive targets, or both, as the type of, you get one of these per month type of content. At least that is my expectation. PC VR. Supporting the entire World of Assassins Trilogy, if you can access Hitman 1 and 2. In Hitman 3, you can play all in VR. Blah blah blah, we're supporting the most popular hardware to deliver the best experience to as many players as possible. Our goal is to hit the benchmark for interaction and gameplay that PC VR players are looking for, all with Hitman style and freedom that our game offers. We've incorporated VR-specific setups to some Hitman controls to make them feel as intuitive as possible and natural during gameplay. For example, you use 2 hands to throw items, same with your... Yeah, we went through this in the video. Yeah, sure. You can throw stuff from different angles, as you would expect in VR. Good. Good. Oh yeah. I was thinking that as well, because they specifically talked about aiming with the left hand and throwing with the right. Like, I feel like that's gonna throw off all the lefties. I would expect that they would allow that, considering, well, it's not a given, because in the normal flat screen game, the 47 is specifically only right-handed. The left hand is just a dummy carrying items, unable to do anything of interest. But yeah, I'm sure there will be much talk if you can't switch hands. Combining the use of 2 hands with the freedom to move your body and huge sandbox locations is a recipe for creativity and chaos. We've seen our developers adapt karate stances, embrace their inner boxer, and even just play around with how our AI and game worlds react to the newfound freedom of VR. Yes. Yeah. In combat and more action-packed moments of the game, that freedom of movement really comes into play, and you are able to control situation yourself rather than animations taking over. When it clicks, it's great, and sometimes you feel like an idiot, but sometimes that's it, man. PC VR will be available for all Hitman 3 owners on January 20th. Full detail on supported hardware will be revealed. Yeah. Probably safe to assume that supported hardware is Rift S, Index 5. What else is there? Or at least that's probably going to be the officially supported ones, and then the wonkier setups with with more business grade VR stuff probably also works if you can bother fiddling with it. I mean, they already said it's not Oculus only. They said blah blah. Most popular hardware to deliver the best experience to as many players as possible. And whatever. Like, there's actually no fucking way it's Oculus only, considering the game is already available on not Oculus. Like, literally impossible. I'm gonna skip Vegas. Hear it too often. And tech improvements, blah blah blah. Ray tracing on PC. Woo! If only anybody had a card that can run ray tracing. One of the first development studios in the world to implement Intel's XeSS technology, which uses machine learning to deliver more performance with exceptional image quality. I have no idea what XeSS is, but I will say that I don't have an Intel CPU, so chances are I won't be using that either. Oh yeah. Oh, AI upscaling, I see. If it's AI upscaling, then is it gonna be related to CPU at all then? Considering Intel, I would assume it's a CPU thing, but AI upscaling sounds like a GPU thing. Or Intel Arc, don't know what that is either. I haven't paid attention to new and upcoming tech in a while, considering my computer works, and it's not like I would be able to buy anything anyway. So what's the point in keeping up with what's coming out? XeSS is unlocked to work on widely available hardware. Okay, maybe my 1070 will work with that then. What else? Variable rate shading to boost PC performance by shading at different frequencies in different parts of the image, putting more power where it has the most impact. Okay. We already. Yeah, I don't know or care enough about this sort of thing. I just want to turn off Bloom. Or Bloom and I'm drawing a blank on the name. You know that really ugly effect that makes it impossible to look through windows. That effect, I want to turn that off. Auto exposure, that's the one. That's all I want for graphical settings. Don't need RTX, just let me disable that. Yeah, this stuff doesn't impact me in any way, shape or form, unless XeSS is something I can use, in which case it probably still won't really affect me much, because the game runs fine for me when it's not crashing. And if it's running fine for me, I assume it's running fine for most people, considering my hardware is not exactly top of the line. But hey, it's good that they keep optimizing it with stuff like that. now that the trilogy is complete, we're excited to unveil Hitman Trilogy as a way for new players to get started in the world of assassination. Oh, oh, I just realized the implications of this. People might finally understand how to buy this game. Collection brings together Hitman 1, 2, and 3 into a single package, making it easier than ever to take your first steps in becoming Agent 47. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. Let me just take a look at this. There's not a price on anywhere on this page. Yeah, January 1st, 1977. Old man. But yeah, Hitman 1 you can't buy in any reasonable way. But this thing? Which is just a bunch of DLC? Oh, Paris is not tagged as DLC. Of course. That's Hitman 2. Oh, it's also marked as free. Good. Very understandable. And it has Standard Edition, which is just a bundle, and Gold Edition, which is very expensive. It's actually funny how confusing they made this. That's great. No, I don't think we're gonna hear about that GOG thing ever again. Simply not going to happen. Excuse me, I have to take this phone call. Enjoy the music for a second. Alright, excuse me. It's we're changing locks in this building and needed to get the keys sorted out. Don't want to get locked out of my own apartment. Anyway, Where was I? Oh yeah, I was having a laugh at it finally being able to buy Hitman easily. Yeah, I would assume that progress carryover should be easy now that they've set it up to one direction, then the other way shouldn't be that big of a deal, I would assume. Especially since the way they had to set it up for from Steam to Epic was they set up their own site and effectively did it through their own servers somewhat. So it probably works out, but best prepare for the worst, I guess. And I assume for people who never got the game on Epic, it's just gonna work the same way as on consoles. I mean, you say Hitman, same as Hitman 1 to Hitman 2 on Steam, just worked, but remember, it didn't just work. You were supposed to be able to transfer your progression, but you couldn't. You could only move the levels, but the progression was gone. Anyway. Woo! Arrives on that same day with all the stuff. Oh my god, trading cards and achievements! All that fun stuff. Oh, the spinal cord injury is because Twitch told me that I get viewers with that. I put it there for laughs. The Hitman trilogy will be available with Game Pass. Yeah, cool, I guess. And then Freelancer. Brand new single-player mode coming to Hitman 3 that introduces roguelike elements, strategic planning, and customizable safe house. Let's start by exploring one of the new maps coming to Hitman 3 in Year 2, Agent 47 Safe House. Its playable space is an entirely different type of location that we've never built anything like it before. Customizable and allows you to choose exactly what type of Hitman you are, or want Agent 47 to be. As you progress through Freelancer, more areas of the safe house can be unlocked and new customization options will become available. Okay. You can configure and customize the safe house to your exact specifications and spend as much time as you want there. Sure. Whether you want to pick out a new suit, browse and test your weapons at the firing range, or make the changes to your decor, it's all possible. Safe house is also an important space because all of your pre-mission planning takes place there. Okay, that's sure, I guess. Don't know what sort of planning they're talking about, but it seems like the most planning is usually best done in a menu. But we'll see, I guess. For each campaign you need to choose the order you want to play the missions. After each mission you will return to the safe house to restock, resupply and strategically plan your next move. Whichever location you leave until last will be there where you corner the leader of the Enterprise. Wow, that was a difficult sentence. Or at least I made it a difficult one. Blow their cover, eliminate them, and the campaign is complete. You get paid and you return to your safe house. You get paid! So does the customization aspect of this also involve a money system? I feel like they would have mentioned that in the video. Like safe house in Payday 2. I love Payday 2. I never went to the safe house. I have no idea what that's like. Campaign missions have been reworked to fit the freelancer mode. For example, locations will have new NPC types that can either help or hinder your progress. Suppliers will offer a selection of weapons and items that you can acquire to increase your chances of success, whereas other NPCs will alert leaders and make your job more difficult. In addition to these NPCs, there are several other elements that will make freelancer campaigns unique. You'll be able to find saves, hidden stashes, and even other NPC assassins. Okay. I am very curious but skeptical about this. I just cannot imagine them reworking the AI in a way that allows for more assassins. Guess we'll see. Unlike the main Hitman campaign, your gear in Freelancer is not persistent. Anything you bring on a mission and don't bring back to your safe house will be lost. If you thought you were attached to your silver bullets before, wait until you left it in Dartmoor and it's gone for good. Looking for gear at suppliers is one way to restock your inventory or replace lost treasure. Okay, this system I like. This system I wish had been in the game for a long time. Consumables such as explosives or poison syringes will also need to be restocked since there is no supply from the ICA in Freelancer. I really hope that also means no Diana. And I assume it means no Diana if it's gonna be more like a roguelike thing. We're excited about Freelancer giving players persistent and infinitely replayable experience that is entirely their own. From customizing their safe house to match their style or mood, configuring and strategically planning it for campaigns through picking playstyles with all the gear on the line. I feel like this could either be really dull and disappointing or the best mode in the game. It's really hard to assess how this is going to be without actually trying it. New map codename Rocky. It's a jungle. It's a beach. Yep. It's that thing. That was actually quite a long video. Longer than I expected. Oh yeah, it was just these two shots. No, never mind, there was a third one. Oh, yeah. I'm cool with a nighttime raining map, just wish it wasn't the jungle. There was a lot in this video, I don't know what you're smoking. Want to see that properly. was thinking, like, is this set up from Diana's house in Absolution? Kinda close, if not it. Yeah, I mean, there was stuff in there. I'll play at least some of that stuff. I mean, it's definitely better than we've gotten since... or better post-release content we've gotten since... The Bank. And The Bank was 2019. I mean, what do you expect them to show of a brand new mode? It's gonna be the same gameplay. You you don't make like a hot and exciting trailer for Hitman. It's impossible. I don't know what you were expecting, man. Like, yep, it's gonna be the same maps. Yep, you're still gonna be killing people. Mind-blowing! How is that gonna look any different in a trailer? Because the only thing that is actually significantly different compared to the standard gameplay of Hitman is what they showed. Whoa! Yeah, they did show the new NPC types. Were you not paying attention? Probably skipping over it. Yeah, there. Right there. There's your new NPC type. And why would they spoil if they redesigned the map slightly? Even if that stuff is there, I wouldn't expect to see it here. I think your expectations were absolutely ridiculous. And that's coming from me. Like, you need to lower your expectations. It's bad. Yeah, they showed how it worked. They quite clearly showed how it worked. Although, I'm looking at this screenshot, I'm a bit disappointed by what I'm seeing in this corner right here. Height target bodies plus 1 M. Poison kill plus 1 M. Hide bodies with countdown plus 1 M. No damage plus 1 M. Those look like trash, I won't lie. And you can even see roughly the kind of value they're going for items, because Rude Ruby is 4M, and each of these objectives is 1M. Yeah, these objectives look disappointing. I was hoping for something more creative. Yeah, we'll see when it comes out. Because, like I said, it could be really uninteresting in line with contract mode, or it could be the best mode in the game, depending on how things work out. get everything on the map instead of buying. I mean, I'm sure you can do it, but I would also... I mean, on most maps there are no stuff like explosives or sniper rifles. They never said that they didn't like the episodic angle. When they went independent, they even said that they considered going back to it. And then they didn't, which was disappointing. Because episodic release was great for Hitman. But yeah. Interesting enough. That was more than I expected. Anyway, no one lives forever. And oh yeah, I wouldn't want another full-on Hitman game either. I think we're done with that. It's had enough of that by now. But episodic, if it had been episodic all along, then maybe I would be down for even more. But as it is, I feel like they, I hate to say it, but I think they kind of run it to the ground. More than I expected. How? I've just explained it. You're the only one who doesn't hear it. You're the only one who seems to be excessively disappointed. Oh my god, that is loud. Jesus Christ, no one is forever. My timer is wrong. I'm actually gonna take the spinal cord injury tag off because people keep asking and I can't be bothered to explain. I had my fun with it.